in addition to slashing box office sales, the coronavirus has also accelerated the use of streaming apps. But this seems to have started to slow down in recent months. Netflix sort of disappointed investors or the market when it came out with its earnings, and Roku even seems to be slowing down a bit. Is it too late to take advantage of the streaming megatrend? If not, what's one stock you'd consider buying or adding to right now? Toby.
Yeah, I don't think it's too late. I think this is where things are going. Absolutely. And I honestly consider adding to Disney. I don't, they've had lots of growth, but you can't discount them. This week, I think we learned that ESPN Plus is increasing its price by $1. The whole Disney Plus bundle is not changing, but just that if you were only getting an ESPN Plus piece, it's going up $1, which is interesting. I remember when I first subscribed to the bundle last year, it was ESPN is kind of like a throw-in, like sure, I'll take the bundle and use it, but I would never get that on its own. I think now they're starting to try to get a little bit of value there, and I think you're going to see sports kind of drive some of this. Hopefully we'll get to a point in the next soon. I'd love to have it had it through this year or maybe next year, where if you're a sports fan, you'll be able to get all of that, including live sports from all of the major leagues, even your local stuff, without having to subscribe to any kind of cable at all. You can get it all streaming. And I think that would be a game changer for the ESPN portion and some other stuff out there, like maybe even the Peacock for NBC, NBC Universal, that has a lot of sports stuff. But I definitely throw out Disney as the one, taking a look at. It's still worth buying, I think.
Yeah, it's really smart. I mean, think about the pricing here, right? When they released Disney Plus, when it was just before the coronavirus, and they could have charged for ESPN Plus there, but I think they were trying to get you hooked, right? They wanted you to get in, and now, and they probably waited until now to raise prices for ESPN just because you were seeing the Tiddlywinks Championship from 2019 because there just wasn't anything there, right? But now you're getting, the NBA is back. I'm actually watching the Tour de France with real fans standing by the side of the road. So, sports is back, absolutely, and it's time for ESPN Plus. And we talked a little bit yesterday about pricing power. I think ESPN's got tons of pricing power, and I think it's Disney can certainly use that one and go further with it as the streaming stuff comes out. I would totally buy a Virginia Tech, football package, or from your alma mater, right, to watch whatever sports that you wanted to see. So back to the question, is it too late? Absolutely not. So there's a couple stats that I'll point to. I love this one. 63% of Americans over the age of 68 pay for cable TV. So if you're over 68, you're most likely have cable TV. So who doesn't have cable TV is Gen Z, right? So this is a generational trend, absolutely. And the current cable TV market share, just under 50%. And if you add in satellite TV, it's even bigger. So internet TV is still just getting started globally. So I like the Trade Desk as a way to play this one. It's a massive programmatic advertising market. The company says they're chasing a global advertising market of $725 billion with a B. Linear television today has about a quarter of that, or a third of that, I'm sorry, with 230 billion. Their Q1 growth number is 37%, and Q2 off of a depressed coronavirus Q2 in 2020, they're projecting 88% growth. Trade Desk is very much a volume business. They pay for ads placed, or they get paid for ads that are placed. So to see management projecting an 88% for the upcoming quarters is that they have really good insight into what's going on. So the company, this is an interesting fact. The company has been GAAP profitable, generally accounting principles. None of this non-GAAP fake, pull the stuff out that we don't want to see. GAAP profitable since 2013. Really like the Trade Desk here.
Yeah, it's great. I love the Trade Desk too. I like that you, Toby mentioned Disney and you mentioned the Trade Desk, because you're kind of hitting the two sides of the streaming angle, right? You have the paid services like your ESPN Plus or your Disney Plus, but then you have the ad supported channels as well. Like Hulu is ad supported. What's the other one? Pluto. So, I mean, there's two different models. And what's interesting to me as I'm looking out here, and to answer the question, no, it is not too late to invest in this trend. We're seeing the ad dollars shift as the viewership shifts over time. So advertisers are going to spend where people are and where they can get return on their investment. So as people are shifting from cable and other pay TV services or linear TV services, as they're shifting to the internet TV, connected TV, those advertising dollars are shifting as well. As they shift, advertisers are realizing that they can be more targeted with the Trade Desk, more precise, and they get a better return. And so that also drives more ad dollars going to these streaming services. And article that came out yesterday with Adweek on Roku. Roku is, over 50 million users, ad supported. They sold their upfront advertising slots a full quarter earlier this year than they ever have. Wow. There's so much demand for those ad dollars right now on Roku. Not only that, it said that 42% of the ad spend is coming from people advertising on Roku for the very first time. This is a shift that is happening now, right now. And upfront spending doubled year over year. And there was a lot of ad spending in 2020. And so 2021, the upfront spend is doubled year over year for Roku. For me, this is a virtuous cycle as well. As these ad-supported channels have more revenue coming in, they can create better content. It attracts more viewers, it attracts more ad dollars. And the inverse is also true for your traditional legacy companies. As they're losing these dollars, how do they make up the difference to get it back? To me, it's an irreversible trend that's going to keep playing out.
Yeah, I like that you brought up Roku, John, because one thing I think about when I look at the streaming services is, you got so many, right? We got Disney Plus and we got Hulu, we got Netflix, Peacock, I guess people subscribe to that. Discovery Plus now, which is now a bigger thing with the merger with Paramount, right? CBS. But Roku, I think, could be maybe one of those companies that almost becomes like the cable company for the streaming era, right? If they can get the rights to do it, right? You can integrate these things together, maybe into a single guide to kind of surface that up to people. There'd obviously be some legal issues with that. You have to work that out with each service provider. But the potential's there. They have the advantage of not being owned by a major tech company, so they haven't irritated anyone so much so that no one would say, I'm not working with you anymore. And you got those fights that you get between Amazon and Google. But definitely, I think, an interesting one to keep your eye on.